This is the Greater Stockholm region's excellent regional commuter trains. Featuring probably the most stylish interior I've ever seen on a commuter train. But the Mälartåg operation in and out of Stockholm is far from perfect. Run by the Hong Kong metro company MTR, you'd think these trains run like clockwork. But MTR is facing a lot of troubles in Sweden, and today was no exception. So join me for an eventful journey as our train misses one of its stations, and we go through the troubles of the Stockholm regional commuter network. Our journey today will start from Hallsberg, a smaller Swedish railway town that sits right on the junction between two important railway lines. Despite it being a fairly small town of about 8,000 people, the station sees quite a bit of bus traffic connecting with the trains. And as we're in Sweden, of course the station has a pressbyrån, which is a small kiosk or convenience store. And the lovely station building still has a waiting room, so let's head inside. It's a fairly small place, but it's a pleasant place to be. There's enough seating for the size of the town. And the station has all the facilities you'd expect, including departure boards. We'll be catching the 1420 bound for Stockholm, leaving track number 4. You'll also find a Wi-Fi connection inside the station. There's also toilets. And you can also access the pressbyrån from inside the station. There's also a lovely map showcasing all the rail lines in Sweden. Although it must be fairly out of date, as a lot of these train operators don't exist anymore. And that's it for the station building. It's fairly small, but it's nice seeing Sweden taking good care of these, even in smaller towns. Every platform except number 1 and 2 is accessed via this footbridge. Lifts are available, as well as escalators when kids are not playing on them, but I guess there's not much to do in Hellsberg. You'll also find some benches on the footbridge, but it's not heated unlike the station building. I've also never seen a station clock flash like this, but I guess it might be an artifact from my camera. Hallsberg has some really long platforms, and they are often segmented into different parts, so we actually have to walk all the way along platform 5 and 3 here to get to platform 4. On our way there, we see a green cargo train. This is the Swedish government-owned freight operator, accounting for 80% of Swedish rail freight traffic. They also have a major yard and crew base here. The station is also often used as an overtaking point by faster X2000 services. And today was no exception, as this X40 train operating a SJ regional service was just waiting for that X2000 to pass through before proceeding towards Göteborg. And finally, after walking 500 miles, our train comes into view. But there's still roughly 30 minutes before scheduled departure time, so the doors weren't unlocked yet. However, this gave a good opportunity to watch this Hector-rail freight train pull into the nearby freight depot for a crew change. And just like that, they are ready to continue. And just as this X2000 was speeding past the station, our train was ready for boarding. This is the Swedish version of the Stadler Kiss family of trains, designated ER1 in Sweden. They are capable of speeds of up to 200 km per hour. Right, I think it's about time we head on board, as we'll soon be departing. Step-free access is available when platform heights allow. Seating on Mälartåg is unreserved, so naturally we'll go on the upper deck. Right, I reckon this will do just fine. Our journey begins smoothly at 14:20 with an on-time departure bound for Stockholm. The main benefit of these trains is definitely their acceleration, and as soon as we are out on the main line, we quickly pick up the speed. And in no time, we reach our maximum speed of 200 km per hour. And right, I think it's about time we take a look at the route map for today's journey. We are on board Mälartåg 136 with service from Hallsberg, stopping in Vingåker, Katrineholm, Flen, Gnesta, Södertälje Syd, Flemingsberg and Stockholm Centralstation. This is a journey of 196 kilometers, which is scheduled to be completed in 1 hour and 38 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 120 kilometers per hour. As we're speeding along, let's take a closer look at the highlight of this train, as the journey will soon take a turn for the worse. The train's excellent interior. Just take a look at these large solo seats with a desk space on the side, perfect for commuters. And in general, the train has a lot of seats, which is great for moving people. But in general, these trains are really well thought out. As you'll see, in the vestibule, you'll find some bins. But as we move into the carriage, you'll see there's mostly airline style seating, great for moving lots of commuters, but a few table bays with 4 seats still remain, as well as some luggage space. Moving on to the next carriage happens at the intermediate floor by walking through this upcoming corridor. This is also where a lot of the train's electronical components are located, as there's no space for them under the floor or on the roof thanks to the 2 passenger floors. Moving into the next carriage is also where we'll find the toilet. And you know what time it is, we'll have a look at it. The door can easily be locked with a simple locking mechanism. There's a working dryer, as well as water, and the soap was stocked. There was plenty of toilet paper, and the flush is working. So, good job Mälartåg. Continuing down the stairs, we'll get to the accessible part of the train. Due to the many internal steps of the train, it really matters that you bought the right carriage. But provisions for wheelchairs has been made, and there are some dedicated seats here that even have power outlets. A nice touch. This is also where you'll find the accessible toilet. Something like this. On the upper deck of one of the carriages, you will also find a quiet zone, which also has luggage space, as well as some more excellent seats. I mean, just look at all this working space. But one trade-off of double-decker trains is the tiny luggage bins on top that can basically only fit a jacket or a very small backpack. The trains also have clear LCD screens throughout the train, showcasing journey information. And just as I arrived back at my seat after my wander around the train, something unexpected happened. Our train is coming into our stop at Vingåker way too fast, and we end up overshooting the platform. You can even hear the driver applying even more brakes. And we come to a stop just east of the platforms. And a few moments later, the crew comes on the speaker and announces that our train will be reversing back into the station. So after a few minutes, our train is reversed back into the platform, and everybody can continue their journey with just a slight delay. And in the end, we depart Vingåker after a successful stop with a delay of just 7 minutes. And honestly, small operational mistakes like this are bound to happen every once in a while, and it's how you handle them that matters. And honestly, Mälartåg did a pretty good job here. Certainly a lot better than another Swedish rail operator who also skipped the station, but instead lied to their passengers and left them stranded. SJ. But unfortunately, operational issues are far from rare on Mälartåg. SMTR has been doing such a bad job at running the network with frequent cancellations and poor overall performance that their operating contract was ended early recently and the new operator Transdev will take over. Anyway, let's have a look at the seats. They feature a nice sturdy tray table, a small storage pocket, a Scandinavian bin bag. The seats themselves are well enough padded for the 2-hour-ish journeys they do. And they are designed very well for commuters, with 2 power outlets per seat, 2 separate armrests, and a reading light. They honestly feel really well thought out. The legroom is a bit tight for a train, but this seems like an okay trade-off to provide enough seats in rush hour. We are rapidly making our way towards Stockholm, and we are currently crossing over the bridge at Södertälje Syd. But the view today over the harbour is less than ideal thanks to the dreadful weather. So let's instead talk about the Mälartåg network. The network consists mostly of longer commuter services in and out of Stockholm, with 3 main services serving the city. 2 further lines originate from Uppsala, avoiding Stockholm altogether to form a larger regional network. And that's all of the 5 lines that Mälartåg serve. And it's not many moments later that our train is on the approach into Stockholm. And I have to say, I've actually grown to really like these trains. They feel really well designed for the services they operate, but it does come at a cost. A ticket from Hallsberg to Stockholm is a fixed price of 265 Swedish crowns or about 23 euros. While not super expensive, it's not that cheap either. And despite our little hiccup earlier, we arrive into Stockholm Central Station just 6 minutes behind schedule. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as I try to upload a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.